Data is at the center of decision making across all levels, influencing everything from our day to day purchases to strategic boardroom discussions and guiding areas like product development, product launches, customer service, engagement, impact measurement, etc. All data presentations, whether it's a basic spreadsheet or a visually compelling diagram like Florence Nightingale's casualty diagram, tell a story. However, the effectiveness, the impact, and the intentionality of this story are crucial. Emotional engagement is key as it makes data more accessible, sparks curiosity, and encourages deeper analysis. Welcome back to my Thursday video series where I share examples for you to use at work to make your messaging sticky. This week marks the birth anniversary of Florence Nightingale, known as the Lady with the Lamp, the name earned by making night rounds on patients illuminated by a paper lantern. Florence Nightingale, for those who don't know about her, was a social reformer, a statistician, and the founder of modern nursing. And she came into prominence while serving as a manager and trainer of nurses during the Crimean War from October 1853 to February 1856, in which she organized care for wounded soldiers at Constantinople. In the summer of 1856, Florence Nightingale sailed back home from the war furious. As the nursing administrator of a sprawling British Army hospital network, she had witnessed thousands of sick soldiers endure agony in filthy wards. An entire fighting force had been effectively lost to disease and infection. The horrors of war, Nightingale realized, were inflicted by more than the enemy bullets. Nightingale arrived back in London determined to prevent similar suffering from happening again. So she gathered data from military hospitals in Constantinople that verified what she had long suspected. Nearly 7 times as many British soldiers had died of disease in the Crimean War than in combat, and the deaths dropped dramatically once the hospitals at the front were cleaned up. She also collated data from military hospitals in Great Britain, which revealed that these facilities were so poorly ventilated, filthy, and overcrowded that their mortality rates exceeded those at Scutari following the changes implemented by the Sanitary Commission. And she says, our soldiers enlist to death in the barracks. It was an uphill slog. It was not easy. Many government leaders accepted that the loss of common soldiers was inevitable. They wrongly believed, of course, for example, that communicable diseases were caused by unavoidable realities: the weather, bad diet, harsh working conditions. And the poor quality of army data made it impossible to know exactly how the soldiers died. Patient outcomes varied depending upon whether you ask the officer who lost fighters, the ferryman who shuttled the sick, the doctor who treated the invalids, or the adjutant who buried the bodies. In 1858, Nightingale wrote her Notes on Matters Affecting the Health, Efficiency, and Hospital Administration of the British Army. In it, she created a remarkable and original graphical display to show us what had gone on in the war. It was called a polar area diagram that showed how people had died during the period from July 1854 towards the end of the following year. Recognizing that few people actually read statistical tables, Nightingale and her team designed graphics to attract the attention and engage readers in a way that other media could not. Nightingale's graph is like a pie chart, and it's cut into 12 equal angles. Each slice advances in a clockwise direction. and each show what happened in a month of 1 year. The outward reach of each slice shows how many deaths occurred in that month, and we see the short slices in April, May, and June of 1854. After the troops land in Crimea, the slices began reaching far outward in the radial direction. Each slice also had 3 sections, one for deaths from wounds in the battle, one for other causes, and one for disease. Except for the bloodiest months in the siege, battle deaths took up a very small portion of each slice. Once you see Nightingale's graph, and I'll share it in the link, the terrible picture becomes clear. The opponents were a minor enemy. The real enemies were cholera, typhus, and dysentery. And once the military looked at that eloquent graph, the modern army hospital system was inevitable. The graph is a lesson to anyone on how to present data, not only so that it's clear to any reader, but also to reveal the big picture as well as craft a narrative to drive action. Have you seen other such examples of collecting and presenting data in a way that help go beyond the normal belief and bring better decision outcomes? If you have, do share in the comments. If you like this, explore over 100 such videos on my YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe for updates so that you can get new uploads every time a video is published. I'll see you in the next episode.